Hi, I'm Matt from the Mezzanine film podcast, and this is a Minisode. I wanted to record this today because I've noticed some kind of weird behavior on Dwayne Johnson's part in the lead up to this week's release of the DC superhero movie Black Adam. As the film's lead actor does the rounds for interviews, press junkets, and talk shows, I can't help but notice a distinct lack of reporting on the man's behavior by the various entertainment websites of the internet. Of course, this isn't surprising considering that these websites can only survive on the special access they're granted from film studios to early screenings of movies to set visits and news scoops. But I suppose the unhealthy relationship between the press and film studios is kind of a topic for another day. We're talking about The Rock here. The former wrestler turned actor has always been very careful with his public image, not showing too much of his personal life, kind of sticking to positive messaging about bettering yourself, and maintaining a pretty clean-cut, inoffensive image. However, there's always been kind of something bubbling under the surface. In 2016, Dwayne Johnson took to Facebook to publicly air his dirty laundry about working on the film Fast 8. At the time, he kind of stuck to vague booking like a teenage girl, but it became clear that he was talking about his co-star Vin Diesel, calling the actor unprofessional and a candy ass. The feud lasted for weeks, and it eventually just kind of fizzled, the sort of culmination of what happens when an unstoppable megalomaniac meets an immovable narcissist. But he also kind of has this thing called a hero clause in the contract for all of his movies. This clause basically states that his character must be portrayed in an ideal way, he cannot die in the films he's in, and he cannot lose fights. It's been uncovered that Johnson, Vin Diesel, and Jason Statham all had contract writers stating that they couldn't lose fights while filming the Fast and the Furious series. They even went as far as devising a point system that assigned punches, kicks, and headbutts different numerical values so that the film's fight scenes never gave one actor the advantage over the other. I kind of want to fast forward though to the present now and follow the comments that Johnson has made in the last week or so while doing the press for Black Adam. On October 15th, mid-interview, the man spoiled the film's after-credits scene, confirming that Henry Cavill has once again suited up to appear as Superman. Not only that, but it's also been reported that Johnson originally pitched the cameo to DC Films president Walter Hamada during Black Adam's reshoots, to which Hamada said no to. Johnson's response was to go behind Hamada's back and turn all the other DC Films executives against Hamada, basically giving him veto power to include the post-credits scene, which was filmed this past September. But it's also germane to point out that Hamada actually quit Warner Brothers after a 15-year career this very week, a decision that was no doubt impacted by The Rock placing his metaphorical boot on Hamada's neck. And it's also kind of worth pointing out that as early as 2022's Comic-Con this past July, Johnson has been hyping up his dream vanity project of a film where he fights Superman. A battle which he no doubt wins, of course. But in the last 24 hours, The Rock's megalomania has only increased. In an interview with Yahoo Movies, the actor declared his hero the most powerful hero in movies now, currently on the screen. And then in a tweet, stealing the verbiage directly from Marvel, Johnson said, "Black Adam marks phase 1 of the DC cinematic universe." Pay no attention to all those other movies that they've been releasing over the past 15 years or so. So why does any of this matter? To me, it's because it's all bullshit. Whether it's the actor's own vanity talking or it's just clever marketing to get butts into theater seats, it's clear that The Rock isn't clearing any of these statements with his public relations, with DC Films, or with Warner Brothers. He's literally just saying what he feels like off the cuff. And the reason I know this is because nothing he's saying is being backed up by anyone else but him. Where's the press release announcing the new age of the DC cinematic universe? Where are the other producers talking up this supposed Black Adam versus Superman movie? Where is any sort of confirmation that any of these statements are true? They don't really exist. But I'll tell you what does exist. This morning, Black Adam producer Hiram Garcia gave an interview with Slash Film saying that he was frustrated with the film's credit scene leak. The producer didn't go so far to name Johnson, but of course we all know where the leak came from. As the biggest movie star in the world, it's clear that Johnson is taking notes from the other biggest movie star, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is notorious for his ever-increasing creative control over the films he stars in. Another actor who has had his fair share of bad press and leaked audio and fights and stuff like that, but unlike The Rock, he actually stars in good films. But that's kind of it for me today. It's important to note that I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but by the time you see this, I will have. Look for Chuck and I's review, probably coming out this Sunday. Otherwise, I'm Matt from the Mezzanine. Thank you.